Going over to the political part podcast, you have the totalitarian government of the UK banning ninja swords. You cannot defend yourself in any way in that rudimentary 1984 place. Now, this comes to us thanks to End Wokeness, in which he says, quote, breaking ninja swords are banned in the UK. You'll soon be jailed for owning one. You'll also be jailed for posting memes and free speech, or rather speaking, because you don't have free speech, because it's a third world hellhole known as the UK. They really make a good car. That's a little ADHD factor, so that was a automotive pun or a slight. Nevertheless, without too much further ado, at least the report did suit up. He sounds funny. That's coming from me.
We begin with breaking news. The government has banned ninja swords 3 years after the death of 16-year-old Ronan Kanda. It will be illegal to possess, sell, make or import the weapon from the summer, with anyone caught with a ninja sword potentially facing 6 months in prison. The ban is part of measures known as Ronan's Law, which also requires retailers to report bulk or suspicious sales to police and an increase to jail sentences for selling weapons to children. The Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, said it's part of a wider mission to try and keep children safe.
Wider mission to disarm every civilian so they can't defend themselves in any way possible. I had to fix his vernacular there, but that's really what they're trying to do. Again, this is a place that bans guns and forces you to be a victim, and actually gives more of a punishment to victims of, I'm trying to keep this moderately family friendly, the women who are being taken advantage of in the worst possible way in the UK. Those women who post a meme about them being abused, they get a harsher sentence than the abuser, which is so morally vacuous and disgusting I could barely contain myself. That's how much of a hellhole the UK has become. See this in Europe too. A weak, conquered nation. What was once a strong place, now weak, pathetic, and just basically bullying their citizens to be victims. Yet another reason not to move there, live there, or visit, as if you needed one, an additional one. This didn't go as far as I thought, perhaps because the citizens there are so beaten down and neutered that, yeah, everyone's just like, oh yeah, they can't have swords either. It's coming from the same place where, was it? They also banned pocket knives. There's a reason the Swiss Army Knife Company is making a Swiss Army knife without the knife. They still want sales, and yet some countries make it illegal for citizens to have a pocket knife. I'm not joking, that happened in Germany too. Was it Q3 or Q4 2024? There's an article that went viral around that, where they took grandma's knife away. She couldn't have that. And then, of course, yeah, they just force you to become a victim. Thank God I was born in the United States, the best country on the planet, where, especially Texas, where we have things like standard ground laws, and you have a goddamn right to defend yourself. Wise man once said, God made man, but Samuel Colt made man equal. Though these days, maybe people would probably say Glock, but nevertheless, you get my idea and my small soapbox moment. Though, I think it's been probably 20 years since I bought soap in a specific cardboard box. Nevertheless, going to the comments now. Now, again, I got about 226,000 views as well as 4.8 thousand likes. Well, the first comments comes from Valentina Gomez, and she says, quote, so elite. I don't mean to. I laugh because what she says is so true, and yet I'm trying to keep it family friendly. So I'm going to reword her quote so you understand it, but kids can still, if you have kids in the room, they don't need to leave. So Valentina Gomez says, quote, so illegals can take advantage of little girls in the worst possible way, as well as take their life, and nothing happens. But if you own a ninja sword, you're going right to jail. Getting 1.1 thousand likes. True. The Waco Kids has a meme of one of those dictators, evil, Gestapo-like guys, UK police. Says, and he's holding a sword, says, thankfully this has been taken off the streets. The top response is, you're doing God's work, mate. Just, can I do a British accent? Probably not, but I could try. Trumpet, TBT, Sean Connery. Though he's Scottish, but nevertheless, you're doing the Lord's work, mate. Just an ancestor, lost an ancestor to a sword like that in the 13th century. Was that the worst accent you've ever heard? Probably, but I went for it. It got, not me, but they had to get 4.3 thousand likes, and he said, you're doing God's work, mate. Lost an ancestor to that sword just like that in the 13th century. Gunther Eagleman says, quote, LOL, you can't make this shit up, getting 224 likes. Salty Goat says, I wonder if they're considering banning rocks and slingshots, getting 534 likes. 35, 36, going up like a stock ticker. You also have Inevitable West says, Britain would never surrender their guns. Britain shouldn't have ever surrendered their guns. Catastrophic mistake, getting 366 likes. Yeah, once you lose those rights, you really ever get them back. And granted, public schools don't usually teach history anymore, mostly indoctrination places. But nevertheless, if you do read history books, every single time the government disarms the citizens, the worst possible things in history always happen next. That's why our founding fathers, unlike the ones in the UK, ensured our citizens will always have the right to defend themselves. It is disgusting that our government has neutered that by making it near impossible for most people to afford things like machine guns, destructive devices, and what have you. Hopefully, Trump will fix that, get rid of the NFA 1934, but nevertheless. You also have Wall Street apes saying, quote, something tells me when statistics show, quote unquote, knife crime, it's running out of control. It's not, quote unquote, ninja swords that are the problem. It's the millions of illegal invaders liberals keep importing. The UK needs to, wow, 1776, these liberal tyrants gained 376 likes, which, again, the citizens there are so weak and pathetic. I don't think they'll ever stand up. I don't even think they'll ever do a peaceful protest in the UK or Europe, for that matter. I mean, they just go, okay, government, you know what's best. I'll give her my pocket knife, my gun, everything. The most sad thing is when you see really cool artifacts of World War II, like a full auto MP40, which in the USA, if it's transferable, it's like $45,000 plus in value. The UK citizens and the European citizens are so weak and pathetic. When they find a machine gun in their house from World War II, they hand it over to the police. That's so, which of course the police destroy it. And sure, you can never enjoy it. Like every time I read those articles, my heart breaks. I'm like, another piece of history destroyed. In addition to, oh yeah, you can't defend yourself in those shitty countries. Let's see here. Rolling down more and more. You have punished MSF saying, quote, the UK will ban everything but illegals, getting 335 likes. Still no contrarian comments here. Someone's doing some Photoshop so the Queen of England has a foam sword instead of a real one. Which that would never happen because, again, the government is always exempt from all of these bans. So we'll see if the citizens ever actually grow a spine or do anything. Hopefully they do. Hopefully maybe they'll grow some, as I think my friends would say, huevos. They would actually, get some poster board going for a peaceful protest. Maybe they'll vote differently and get an official who wants them to be empowered to defend themselves and their families. Well, unfortunately, I'm not optimistic, but let me know your thoughts in the comments because, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone. Take the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.